They told you mankind began with Adam. But what if that's only half the truth? What if Earth had rulers before us, beings of smokeless fire, mighty and ancient, whose empires burned long before man breathed his first? And what if our creation wasn't a beginning, but an act of war? Welcome to Beyond the Known. In this series, we uncover the most forbidden timeline in existence, a path veiled in half-truths, erased scrolls, and ancient rebellion. Tonight, we begin not with Adam, but with what came before him. In the beginning, there was divine decree, celestial realms, and entities of fire, light, and will. Among them were the Djinn, crafted from smokeless fire. They roamed Earth long before man. According to Ibn Kathir and several early Islamic scholars, the Djinn inhabited Earth thousands of years before Adam, building civilizations, kingdoms, and technologies we can no longer comprehend. Some say they built cities of stone and fire, powered by knowledge stolen from the heavens. These weren't ghosts or genies from bedtime stories. They were intelligent, powerful, and deeply spiritual. They worshipped, they studied the heavens, and they waged war. Earth was theirs, and they ruled it for millennia. But power corrupts. The Djinn began to spill blood. Tribes turned on tribes, ancient weapons split mountains. Portals, some say, were open to realms never meant to be touched. When the Djinn descended into chaos and corruption, Allah dispatched a heavenly host to restore balance. Leading them was Azazeel, later known as Iblis. As early exegetes like Al-Tabari and Al-Thalabi relate, Azazeel commanded an army of angels created from the fiercest flames, Nar as-Samum, to confront the rogue Djinn. They waged a great war upon the Djinn kind. The Djinn were scattered, their cities turned to ash, their knowledge sealed on their charge, driving them into exile beyond oceans and dimensions. The earth fell silent, their once proud empires reduced to smoldering ruins. It was only then, after centuries of fire and judgment, that the divine decree came to plant a new Khalifa on earth, one made of clay. The Djinn were scattered, their cities turned to ash, their knowledge sealed. One Djinn, however, rose above the rest. His name was Iblis. Unlike others, Iblis was devout, obedient, and ascended among the angels themselves, though he was never one of them. But this is where the story fractures. The version you were taught, it hides something far more terrifying. Iblis didn't only fall because of pride, but also of truth, because he knew what man was really made to replace. And worse, he saw what man was destined to become. Then came the decree, echoing through the celestial planes. I am placing upon the earth a Khalifa, a successor, a new being. The angels question, will you place therein one who causes corruption and sheds blood while we glorify you? But the divine simply said, I know what you do not. Some scholars argue, the angels weren't referring to the future. They were remembering the past, the bloodshed of the Djinn. Mankind would be given what the Djinn lost, choice, free will, but also the power to destroy. Iblis knew what this new creation meant, not just another species, but one made of clay, something lowly, yet infused with Ruh, the command of God. A being that would not just rule Earth, but be worthy of prostration even by him. And so the fire inside him turned cold. Not just pride, but envy. Not just envy, but revolt. Before Adam was formed, Earth stood still. The cities of the Djinn ruined. Their knowledge buried in desert sands under oceans and within forbidden dimensions. And in that quiet, something ancient watched, waiting. What if mankind wasn't created as a gift, but as a weapon? What if Adam's rise was a divine reset, a cosmic declaration of war against the old order? And what if Iblis, never left. In episode 2, we descend into the garden, where the first man was shaped, and the great deceiver made his move. Subscribe and join us as we journey beyond the known.